y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Danielle, for those of you who may not know or who may be new. And on this channel, we create the lifestyles that we want through smart and logical decision making. And we are all about leveling up our lifestyles because it is very much in our power to do so. In today's video, I want to discuss things that you should make sure you check on your checklist or check off on your checklist when you are on your level up journey, and especially at the beginning, early stages of your level up journey. I've discussed previously that there are often many things that we don't consider or don't understand when we are entering into a space where we are trying to level up our lives and, trying to create a new, better lifestyle for ourselves. And so I just want to run through a few things that I've been doing because I'm actively in my level up journey, and I've really been seeing improvements in my life in every way. Improvements in the people that I attract, improvements in my creativity, improvements in my overall energy and being high frequency and high energy, and just being able to have balance in my life. The first thing that is most important is to be self-aware. You will often hear me preach about being self-aware on this channel because it is like one of the prerequisites to creating the life that you want, because you have to know yourself. You have to know what makes you tick. You have to know what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what presses your buttons. You really have to know why you do the things that you do. We can't expect people to be able to read our minds or give us what we want. And not everybody is going to give you what you want just because you ask for it or just because you're trying to manifest it. So it's important for us to be able to decipher through what's good for us and what's not good for us. And that is in any circumstance and dealing with anyone that you come across in your life. Another very, very important thing that you must do when you're on your level up journey is understanding what you want and what you don't want. Really sitting with yourself and thinking about how you want your life to look like, in 5 years or in 10 years or in 1 year. Where do you want to be a year from now? And what we don't want to do is be complacent and get stuck. And so what we want is to continue to move forward. Even if you're moving forward slow, as long as you're continuing to move forward, it is definitely the key to being successful at creating a new life and at leveling up your life and your lifestyle and yourself. Knowing what you want and why you want it is very important. So, with a lot of these conversations about hypergamy and about femininity and about leveling up, it's not enough to just say, I want a man with money. It's not enough. What will this man with money provide you? What do you want? Do you want to be able to purchase a Birkin bag, or do you not care about purchasing a Birkin bag? For me, I don't need the most wealthy man. I don't need a millionaire or a billionaire, if I'm being honest. But what I want a man that has means, a man that can take care of his home with or without me. I'm always gonna work. I'm always going to be on the go to some degree. So it's not about being a freeloader. It's not about being a kept woman either, but it's about having a man who can provide when I am, let's say, pregnant. After I have my baby, I want my husband to be able to provide without my finances. And for me, that's very, very important to me. It's important that I be able to nurture my child because nobody else will be able to love and nurture my child the way I will. And so it's important for me to understand why I want a man. It's not simply because I don't want to work anymore. I don't have plans hands on working is because, you know, the main reason for me is because I want to be able to take care of my child and be fully enveloped in the first year or two of my child's life. And I'm pretty sure after that I'll be hustling to get back to work. And at the end of the day, we may be propelled into this new life. You know, right now I'm taking care of myself, I'm paying all my bills, I'm doing decently for myself, but I understand what I want from my husband, what I want from a potential man in my life. And if he can't provide that, then there's no need for him to be there, and I can continue living the life that I'm living because I do enjoy my life. I would rather continue to be a happy single woman, stress-free, than to have someone who is adding onto my burdens but not lifting any. So it's very important for us to know what we want and why we want it. It's important for us, if you're on a feminine journey, a journey to become feminine and kind of shed some of the masculinity that a lot of us has been forced upon us, you need to know why. For a lot of us, it's the fact that we are best as a woman. I work best in my feminine. My feminine qualities is a lot of it is what make me me. My womanhood is what makes me me, and I'm able to thrive in the world and to design a life that I love through those qualities and through that softness and that tenderness, but also through the good parts of strength that are all women. And so knowing why you want these things is also very, very crucial to actually getting these things. And it's very important for you to not just want it because somebody on YouTube told you you want it, but it's important to know why you want it for your particular life. The third tip I have is to prioritize your needs. Understand what it is that you need out of your relationship with whomever, your friends, your family, your loved one, your spouse, whoever. You need to know what your needs are so that people can even begin to meet them. A lot of us, you know, have unrealistic expectations of men, and we expect men to be able to read our minds and just know. But frankly, you know, a lot of, if you don't know what you need, if you don't know what you want, if you haven't taken the time with yourself to make yourself happy, to know what makes you happy and be a whole individual by yourself and a happy individual while you're single or just as a person and as a woman, how dare you assume that a man who's trying to have his needs met automatically no. You know, we have to be realistic about it. You can't expect someone to know what you want and you don't even know what you want. So learning to prioritize your needs, learning to make sure your needs are met so you aren't being neglected, so you aren't neglecting yourself, and so your mental isn't slipping through the cracks, because stress can cause a whole host of problems that frankly we do not need. So always prioritize the things that you need so you can begin to be successful in your level up journey. Another very, very important tip is to stay away from people that pull you into your old habits. Now, this can be anyone, and I would like to acknowledge that not everyone have necessarily bad intentions, but some people can't. Say if you're a partier and you're a heavy drinker and you're trying to lay off of it, and your friends are into those kind of things and they want to hang around, and you know how it's gonna go, maybe even for your health reasons, you know. And so minimize the time that you spend with these people. Minimize the time that you spend giving your energy to and feeding off of other people's energy, who is ultimately hindering your level up journey, because it is your responsibility. Your level up journey is your responsibility, much like your happiness. And so sometimes, even if we don't want to, and even if we still love and adore these people, we have to limit it. Or if you really want to be slick about it, you can start taking initiative and start to, you know, spend time with these people in a different element. You know, if it's something that you guys normally do, they're used to you doing it, but you no longer want to do those things, then start introducing new things and new ways for you guys to spend together that is not a hindrance for you. So it's very important that you know, not necessarily just cut these people off, but introduce introduce them to new things. And if they don't take to it well, eventually your shift will start to separate people from the fold anyway, and then you won't have anything to worry about regardless. If you are in a relationship and maybe you're trying to be celibate, or maybe you're trying to back out of certain things, like if you're in a relationship with somebody who's bringing out old habits, if you're angry all the time and they're, you know, just them not satisfying your needs is bringing you back to a place that is not healthy for you, then eliminate spending a lot of time with them. Fill those gaps in with new friends. Fill those gaps in by spending time with people who will meet your needs. Learn the art of letting people go, or holding on to people and compartmentalizing them, because not everyone has just super terrible intentions for us, or you feel like you're on a higher level than them and they just trying to hold you to. No, frankly, just because you switch up, that doesn't mean everybody else have to switch up with you. You just have to understand what people should go in what compartment and what you should do with certain people. And you know, if people, they don't respect your journey, if they don't respect the new you, oh well, find new people. There's always someone else that you can spend your time with. If you are a cursor and you're trying to limit using profane language, for example, stay away from people that pulls that out of you. Stay away from people that curses a lot, and that if nothing catches you that's not common to you. So if it's common for you to curse, limit things that you do that causes you to curse. You know, practice not cursing. Practice finding in new filler words for those words. Just whatever you have to do to continue to propel yourself forward and not allow yourself to be pulled back into places you've grown from. The last tip that I wanted to give you guys for when you're on your level up journey, especially in the beginning stages, is to find new things to do. Find things that you enjoy that will occupy your time. For a lot of Black women, this new level up space, these femininity journeys and all these different things that we're doing as women to improve our image and to improve our lives, a lot of this stuff is new and it can be very, very overwhelming for us. And so what I want you guys to do is to really learn to productively find things that occupy your time. Try new things, try new leveled up activities, you know, try things that you wouldn't normally do. If you used to be a club hopper, if you used to go in bars but you want to do other things, maybe try taking tennis lessons, maybe try taking golf lessons. You know, there are many activities that we can do that can potentially introduce us to new people and new hobbies. Try crafting. Everybody I know just about has a crew cut now and are crafting and creating businesses and just letting their creative juices flow. And when you're able to rest in your feminine a little bit more, when you're able to provide yourself, to create yourself a comfortable, stress-free lifestyle for the most part. Stresses are gonna come at some point anyway. We can't avoid it all, but we can create and tailor our lives to be more conducive to our level up journey. And so finding new things to do, finding new hobbies, new ways to spend your time can not only take away from this newness, you know, this new place that you're in that's unfamiliar territory, and that may be frankly a little bit scary, because for some of us it is very scary to let go and to put in the kind of effort it takes to actually level up. If things aren't happening your way immediately, a lot of us just want to quit, and I do not want you guys to do that, because people need to see that we are capable of leveling up and we are capable of having high standards at all times, and we will command more and we will demand it when necessary. And so sometimes we come, you know, a lot of us are coming from spaces where we were used to a certain kind of lifestyle. We were used to fighting for certain causes that we understand now is actually harming us. And so we have to find new purposes. We have to find new things to do, you know, because these things are no longer consuming us, and it's empty space. And so what we don't want is to have idle minds. What we don't want is to give room for backsliding, if you will. We don't need any space to be able to critique, because listen, a lot of what I'm seeing now is, you know, I think a lot of us have gotten caught up in leveling up and being feminine, and now I feel like what I'm seeing is a lot of women, or a lot of black women in particular, are nitpicking the level up journey and nitpicking the feminine journey and nitpicking a lot of these things to try to make it seem, listen, just because you can't do something, or you don't want to do something, or your neighbor don't see the goals and see the things that you want for yourself, and see the things, the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself, and they are downplaying it, that has nothing to do with you, baby. So let those people do them. Let those people be miserable, but let's not allow ourselves to get to a place where we begin to be judgy and be nitpicky about the level up journey. Because what I see is a lot of people are trying to find holes in divestment, trying to find holes in leveling up and in femininity content that frankly simply is not there. I think it's very important that we, those of us who speak on some of these topics, and I don't claim to be a femininity expert, I don't talk about femininity and all that kind of stuff. I make it clear that I'm on my own journey. I talk about leveling up and creating lives that those are the things that I'm good at, okay? I'm not gonna tell you how to dress. I'm not gonna tell you how to speak properly and how to conduct yourself on I don't do that. What I do is give black women tips on being their best selves, giving black women advice, and sharing my knowledge in what allows me to be successful in my life, what allows me to be at the minimum happy, and at the minimum satisfied and content with our lives. Because frankly, a lot of us need to start there, and we can't jump from point A to point Z. I want black women to continue to, we don't have to keep talking about this all the time loudly. We can talk about it in spaces that it's okay to talk about, like these YouTube videos and any private groups that you may be in. But at the end of the day, we should to some degree move silently, and you know, your standards are your own. You don't have to explain your standards to anyone, and you also don't let anyone discourage you from your goals. There's always someone that's going to see value in you, especially when you already know that you have value and you act like it. Just because one person won't do it, just because 10 people won't do it, that doesn't mean other people won't, because they will. I promise you. I don't want black women to get to this space where all of this was so great and so lovely in the early months of 2020, and now everybody is trying to find holes in the system and trying to nitpick at these women's content when nobody ever said that they're here giving to help you get a millionaire. Nobody said that, because most of the women talking about this stuff aren't millionaires and don't have men that's millionaires. So most people never said that, but it's comprised of people who are feeling stuck in the lives that they want, or being discouraged and don't feel like they can attain it. So they're trying to find holes or poke holes in the system, and we are not gonna let that happen, okay? So continue to level up your life, continue to prioritize yourself, continue to keep your eye on the prize, and surround yourself with only the best. Surround yourself with people who are going to propel you forward in some way. Now, that doesn't mean providing you money to start your business or buying you gifts or stuff like that. Sometimes people can just give you a lesson. Sometimes people can teach you a better way because they failed at the way they did it and can help steer you in the right direction. Please keep yourself on your path in your level up journey. Keep your head up. Don't let people, get into your head and make you think that you're not good enough. You absolutely are. Okay, so that is all that I have for this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe if you just feel like you must. If you don't feel like you must, do it anyway. Go ahead and hit that like button. Drop down in the comments what you think about this topic, some tips for the other ladies and for me on what you've been doing to continue to propel yourself forward. forward and keep moving on your level up journey and to create the beautiful life that you want and you deserve. I love you guys so much, and I promise I'll see you in the next video.